Hey everybody, welcome back to the Murdered Coyote YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at my 240SX. Check it out. I know she doesn't look like much, but there's a lot of potential here. For an S13, there's very minimal rust. So far, I've only found one section that's actually gonna have to be cut out and a patch put in. Everything else is all surface, nothing structural. Frame rails are good. So there's a lot of potential in here. Now this is an 89, it is a pig nose. So usually this would have a single cam KA in it, but somewhere in its lifetime, it got swapped out to a dual cam KA. This also used to be an auto car. It is now a 5-speed dual cam car. So there was a lot going for it. It was a great price. And really, I'm bringing it back to life. This car sat for a very long time. It kind of suffered from it sitting for such a long time. The fuel system was really eaten up with rust. It could have been saved, but I really wouldn't have wanted to run that gas tank knowing it had already been fixed once. It was rusty again, and just really something I didn't want to have to keep messing with later on down the line. So some of you that watch this channel are local and you know me, and you're thinking to yourself, haven't you already been to a drift event in this car? Doesn't the car run now? You're right. I have. I was super excited to get started on this thing. The first drift event was coming up very quickly, so I really just went hammer time on it. I buckled down. I got a fuel cell system in the car now, so literally from the fuel rails back is all new. It's all new lines, new fuel filters, new pump. It's got a fuel cell in it now just because sourcing out a good 240 gas tank is becoming hard, and it's an aluminum fuel cell, and I'll never ever have to worry about rust in it. I basically just wanted to do it one time and be done, and no matter what goes into this car motor wise, it wouldn't be an issue. So went with a bigger pump, fuel cell, and got the car running again. Believe it or not, this car started off of 2 cylinders on its first startup. So after we got it started, it was running on 2 cylinders. We started diagnosing why is it running on 2 cylinders. Had 2 bad injectors in it, and got those swapped out. A friend of mine, he had a full set that he gave me. Shout out to you, buddy. You know who you are. After that, the car was running great. We had kind of rigged up the fuel system just to make sure that the motor was good in it. We had no idea if it was going to be good, if it was going to be bad. After we got it running on all 4 cylinders, it was great. Took it for a little rip. Everything looked like it was checked out and good. So I started installing the fuel system, and once I got it installed, got it finished the day before the first drift event here in Oklahoma. And it was kind of one of those things, had one leaky fitting. I loaded it up on the trailer, drove the truck and trailer to work Friday. On my lunch break, got a new fitting for it. Went to the track Friday after work, put the fitting on, and we were ready to rock and roll for Saturday morning. So now the plans for this car, I definitely want to go ahead, we're gonna get the rust problem fixed, and we're gonna prevent it from ever happening again. I used to work in the paint and body industry. I know a lot about rust prevention, rust treatment, and so we're actually gonna really take care of this car. Gonna make sure that if there is any rust, it's taken care of, and we're gonna make sure the whole car is treated where it won't rust figuratively ever again. Rust is kind of like cancer. It's one of those things that you can never fully say that it will never come back again, because there's always some weird area that you could have missed by mistake and it'll come back. And we're gonna do our best to try and get this car completely rust free and make sure that it will be very, very, very hard to rust again. That being said, car is also gonna get painted. I am going to rock the KA motor as long as it'll hold in there. I've talked to many people as I've been trying to get into drifting and autocross as well, and the drifting guys really suggest that you drift on a stock KA on stock suspension as long as you can to really make yourself a good driver. You're not cheating really in any way, not that angle and stuff's cheating, but it really makes you a good driver, and that's what I'm after here. This is a seat time car. So is it gonna be pretty its first event? No, it was wretched its first event. It was the worst looking car out there. But I was having fun and I was learning something. So really that is what the main goal for this car right now is: seat time. As I'm getting better as a driver, we'll start working on maybe cosmetics and stuff like that. But everything that I'm gonna be doing to this thing will be functional and to make sure that I can spend more time in it learning to drift and autocross. So I'm not gonna go too crazy onto the drift side of things with insane angle because that does not transfer well into autocrossing. And same the other way, you know, I'm not gonna go all crazy aero stuff because it really doesn't help with drifting, and it's expensive if I break it drifting, which can very easily happen. So now that you know that I've got the car, I fixed the car, I've been to my first event, it's actually time to start working on this car now. At the first event, given to the beans, and my ambitions were bigger than the clutches, and the clutch is gone. It wouldn't even really get into first gear, and to get it into my garage and off the trailer, I had to start the car in gear and drive it up into the garage real quick. It's hurting. So we're gonna get a new clutch ordered. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trans, look at the carnage, see what else we need. While we're back there, might as well go ahead and get a new slave cylinder. Also gonna take a look at the flywheel, see the condition of it. May just get it turned if it's pretty good, but if it's pretty warped and messed up, we'll go ahead and get a new flywheel for it as well. I'm very excited about this car. I've always kind of had a sweet spot for the 80s and 90s JDM cars, and really, I needed me a rusty box, and now I've got one. Future plans for like motor, transmission, stuff like that, they're still kind of up in the air. I've got a pretty good idea of what I want to do with the car way on down the line after this KA has given up on me. But for now, the plan is just keep rocking what I got. I'll do maintenance, stuff like that, make sure that the car itself is good. I'm not gonna purposely blow up this KA. It'll have to happen naturally, you know, out drifting and having a good time in it. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure and subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you can keep up with all of the updates on this car as I'm working on it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.